sheet, sir, which I
Okay.
was doing.
Which question?
Question number 40 for that sheet, sir.
Okay. 1 second. Question 40. Let Z1, Z2 be complex numbers such that this one,
Answer. Yeah.
Z1, Z2 are complex numbers such that mod Z1 is equal to A, mod Z2 is equal to B, then satisfying this equation 3Z1 square minus 2Z1 Z2 plus 2Z1 square 3 Z1 square
5 Z1.
huh?
So it's 5. The first and the third term are same.
It should be Z2 square in the third term. I mean, otherwise it seems wrong, no? If it is 5, then what is the point, right? ठीक है, तो इसमें तो मुझे क्वेश्चन पे ही डाउट लग रहा है. If it is 5Z1 square, then how will it come? Ideally, it should be this, dude.
Yes, sir. But I solved with you choosing 5 वाला.
तब आंसर नहीं आ रहा होगा फिर.
नहीं.
That's because there's a typing mistake. And also, real part of this is 0. Also, real part of Z1 minus 2 by Z1 plus 2 is equal to 0. Okay, so Z1, Z2 satisfy this equation. Okay. Basically, Z1, Z2 satisfy this relation, right? And P, Q, O are points in the complex plane corresponding to Z1, Z2 and origin. Z1 is P, Z2 is Q, O is origin. You have to now find some stuff. You have to find eccentricity of x square by a square plus y square by b square. Basically, a and b values you need to find, or b by a ratio. Eccentricity is clearly root over 1 minus b square by a square, right? Correct?
Yes, sir.
If a is greater than b, otherwise it would be 1 minus a square by b square, right? So you just have to compare the magnitudes, right? Basically, eccentricity is 1 minus mod z2 square by z1 square, right?
Yes.
Okay, you have to use these facts to do this. So divide by z1 square here, it becomes 3 times 1 plus 2 times z2 by z1 whole square minus 2 times z2 by z1 is equal to 0. It's a quadratic in z2 by z1, right?
Oh, okay.
2t square minus 2t plus 3 is equal to 0. So do minus 3 plus 2. Minus 3, no. It is not factorizable, no? 6, no. So you will have to solve it, right? T will come out to be 2 plus minus root over 4 minus 4.
Now I think I can do it, sir. With the clue देना था. Dividing by z1 square.
तब ये complex number आ रहा है. Take the mod of that, right?
Yes, sir.
So you will get the mod of z2 by z1 directly, right? Correct. 2 plus minus 2 root 5 I, right? By 4. So 1 plus minus root 5 I by 2 is my z2 by z1, right? Take the mod of this. It's 1 by 4 plus 5 by 4. So 3 by 2, right? Correct? So the answer, so that means Z2 by Z1 is opposite. So it should be 2 by 3, no? Eccentricity will be opposite, no? You understand?
Yeah.
So root 5 by 3 is my eccentricity. Is it matching anything?
It's told it is 1 by root 3 is the answer.
Slightly weird. I mean, I thought this should be right, but if Z1, Z2, like make sure that we have not made any silly mistakes.
Yes, I'm checking that.
So 3, 2, ये वाला equation has become this. Z2 by Z1 is this. Mod of Z2 by Z1 will be 1 by 4 plus 5 by 4 root of that, right? Oh, root 3 by root 2, no? That is a mistake, right? So you understand? Mod of this is root 3 by root 2, no?
Yeah, fine.
So opposite when you do 1 minus 2 by 3. So 1 by root 3 has come, no? Eccentricity.
Yes, sir.
So first of all, the question, there is a slight misprint in question number 40. It should be Z2 square, not Z1 square, right? So if the question seems wrong, then you should yourself correct it. No, now you have solved enough maths questions to have some sense of what should be right, right? The question was saying that Z1 and Z2 are satisfying the relation and there is no Z2 in this last term. It seems wrong, right?
Yes, fine.
So right now, without even using the second condition, you can solve the first part, eccentricity part. You understand?
Yes.
Now you can use this condition to solve whatever else is left, right?
Yes, I'll do it.
This is clearly looking like an angle type situation, no? Angle from 2. I mean, you can think of geometrically what this means.
Yes, sir.
Right? So, I mean, I'm sure this is not hard. The second
Yes,
part,
sir.
right? So try it later yourself. Molly, what you are doing is doubts from whatever doubts you have. So anything that you have a problem going on with, we can discuss that. So we'll rotate the doubts. First, Sparsh has asked, Molly, do you have something immediate?
Not to search.
Okay, then Sparsh, your second problem.
40 seconds.
42. Okay. Let S be the sum of all the real coefficients of this. Sum of all the real coefficients of. Let S be the sum of all the of 1 plus ix to the power 2015. You have to find the value of log 2s. Log 2s. Find okay. So basically you have to collect all the real terms and sum of the coefficients of those, right? Right. So why is this a doubt? Doesn't seem very hard. What has happened?
I don't know. I was putting that 2015C0 I was trying to became 2.
Okay. 1 plus ix to the power 2015. So do binomial theorem simple. It is 1 plus C1 ix plus C2 ix square and so on. C right? This is the expansion, no?
Yes.
The real terms are the even number terms.
Yeah, the even ones.
So it will be 1 plus 2015 C2 I square is minus 1. So minus 1. This is the coefficient.
Yeah.
Then other one will be C4 minus 2015 C6 plus 5 C8. This series summation you can do, dude.
Yeah, I realized after you wrote it.
This is the summation. Now, basically, it's a binomial theorem question. Find C0 minus C2 plus C4 till C2014 from 1 plus x to the power 2014 series, 2015 series. This series put some minus 1 stuff and all, right?
Yeah.
Like this series summation, you should be able to find yourself,
Yes, I will do it.
right? Put 1 minus 1, put many things, cancel stuff, right?
Yes, sir.
So this summation should not be a problem. Like you can try it, okay?
Okay.
This is not a difficult question. It's just binomial theorem now. This you should have enough experience now to handle. Next.
Don't erase it, okay. Yeah, so just give me 1 second.
Molly, you should find your doubts. Whatever is happening that is about bothering you in maths.
Yeah.
1 second, erase it.
It's your turn now, Molly.
Yeah, I didn't get the 46th one.
Okay. No, it doesn't have to be from complex numbers. It can be anything. You can ask me whatever. So, yeah, 46th one.
Oh, I can ask you any chapter.
Whatever is bothering you. Next
Oh,
class onwards, we'll start a new chapter. Right now, we can. Next class onwards, we'll start discussing a new chapter. But for now, you can ask me anything. 46th one. There is a point inside an equilateral triangle ABC of side D, whose distance from the vertices is 3, 4, and 5. Okay. Okay, equilateral triangle ABC of side D. A, B, C. Triangle ABC is equilateral. There's a point inside it. Side is D. And distance from the vertices is 3, 4, and 5. Distance of that point. Okay. Okay. So 3, 4. Rotate the triangle and P through an angle through 60 degree about C. Rotate the triangle and P through 60 degree about C. Okay. So let's say there is a point whose distance from which vertices A, B, and C. So distance from A is 3, distance from B is 4, and this is 5. So it should be somewhere here. This is my point. This distance is 3. This distance is 4. And this distance is 5. Okay, this point is P. Now what we have to do is rotate stuff. Rotate the triangle and P through 60 degree about sides about C. So 60 degree about side C. So it was like this. We are going to rotate it about C like this. So let's say you rotate it about C. So it will still be at a distance of 60 degree, but it will be somewhere here. It will still be at a distance of 5, but it will be somewhere here. This is my P dash, right? In the new situation. And this will still be at a distance of D, but it will be at some place A dash, right? After rotation by 60 degree. This will still be at a distance D, but it will be at some distance B dash, right? So A goes to A1, P goes to P1. A goes to A1, A1, P goes to P1. You have to find area of PAP1, right? PAP1. Area of this triangle, PAP1. Right now it doesn't even look like a triangle, so maybe I should make it a little here. P1. So there might be a triangle formed like this, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, so area of triangle PAP1, basically only thing unknown, I mean, P is unknown right now and P1 is unknown, right? P and P1, if you know, then you will be able to get, right? So
Like the points.
the points, you know the points, you will be able to find the area. Area, if there are three complex numbers z1, z2, z3, we have discussed area is equal to something like this, no?
Yeah.
If z1 is x1 plus I y1, right? So you need to basically find this area of PAP1 and value of d square also, okay? 60 degree rotation. P1 is the rotation of P through 60 and A is still A.
Like we know two sides in the triangle.
Hmm. We know which sides?
You know that PA is 3
Uh,
and then P dash is also 5. No, wait.
PP dash we don't know.
Yeah, it's 5, right?
Why?
It's like, isn't it an equilateral triangle?
Why will PP dash be 5? I don't understand.
No, like, so P dash and C, that's like an equilateral triangle, right? 5, 5, and 60 degree rotation.
PP dash and C, huh? Maybe, yeah. Because 5 and 60 degree rotation. Equilateral. No, isosceles. Why equilateral?
Hmm. Wait, why not? Like, that is 60, right? PC and P dash angle
Yes,
is
6.
60.
That doesn't. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then it's 5 and 5.
Yeah, it's equilateral. Right. Okay, I'll draw a different figure. This is my C, this is my A, this is my B, and P was from A it was 3 and from C it was 5. P was here and then you rotated it to P dash, right? This is my new situation and this is 60 degree and this was 5 and this was 5. So this is equilateral because this distance will be same as this distance, right? And this is 60. Okay, so P A P dash, right? So
Yeah.
P A P dash area of this triangle. So this is 60 and this is also 60. So then this is equilateral, then this is 3 and okay, then this line you can take C as the origin. Let's take C as the origin, right? And P is some arbitrary point, which is phi EI theta,
You
right?
can do rotation formula or something. I don't know.
P point is phi EI theta, right?
Yeah.
And A point is D, and let's say this point is D
EI power 0.
EI 0, right? So this is D EI
60.
pi by 3, right?
Yeah.
Correct. So now it is rotation. P dash will easily be able to say P dash should be 5 EI per pi by 3 plus theta, right? Correct.
Yeah. So
So
pi by 3 plus pi by 3. Oh no, wait.
pi
Oh
by 3
yeah, yeah,
plus
okay.
theta,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
P is EI theta, where this angle is theta.
Yeah.
Okay. So now you have to find area of the triangle PAP dash. So so this is 5 5 and this is 60. So you know area of this triangle, right? Root 3 by 4 into 5 square, 25, right? This is area of PCP dash, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And 5 cos 60. So this distance should be 5 by 2, right?
Yeah.
So this distance is basically D minus 5 by 2, right?
Yeah.
So 5 by 2, D minus 5 by 2 is this distance. And this distance is 5 root 3 by 2. So this whole side is 5 root 3, right?
Mm.
P dash is 5 root 3, right?
Yeah.
And wait, then how is it equilateral? Something is wrong with our thing.
Wait, it's not equilateral. Oh wait, it is right.
No, it is wrong because
Yeah, that's supposed to be 5.
no, we are, how are we doing sine 60 and all stuff? Like this is not 90, no, not necessary, right? We cannot do it, no.
No, why isn't it 90? It's 90 degree only, no? We're joining P dash and P.
It is
Okay, yeah, it's not
reflection
necessary.
reflection about this. It doesn't have to be reflection mirror. This is not a mirror necessarily,
Okay, fine.
right? Okay, so we still have to find P dash area. So these are the 3 points. So there are some unknowns here, right? The unknowns are D and theta also. So what else is there in the question? Okay, so P is a point inside equilateral triangle of right D whose distance from vertices are given, right? So we have not used that yet, right?
We use 3, 4, and 5, right?
You have to use it somehow. So you have to say that P point we have written as 5 EI power theta. So we have to say that distance of P from this A is 3 and distance of P from B is 4.
4.
Right? So 5 EI theta minus DEI pi by 3 mod is equal to 3, and 5 EI theta minus DEI 0 is equal to 4. Okay, 2 equations, 2 unknowns. We can find theta and D from here. Correct?
Yeah, can find it again.
Find theta and D from here and then use triangle formula. Now everything is known.
So for finding D and theta, you have to like write it in the
Write
cos
it
theta
as
plus
cos
I
theta,
sin theta.
it's sin theta, yeah.
Okay, fine.
You don't have to do much. It will just be two trigonometric equations with two unknowns, theta and d, right?
Hmm.
You can definitely try and solve this. So if I get 5 cos theta plus I 5 sin theta minus d cos 60 is half minus d root 3 by 2i, mod of that is equal to 3, right? So it will become some squares and all some equation, but it is possible to find now,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
It might be a little annoying to find, but it is
Yeah,
possible.
because it'll be long. Okay.
Yeah, it might be long and all, but it might be possible for sure. And one square it and all, square it already and start seeing patterns and all. And you will, once you find theta and d, you know all points, so you'll be able to find area very easily.
Okay.
You know all the points only, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Sparsh, what is next?
So question 13, 1-3.
Okay. Question 13. Why this seems easy, dude? Z is a complex number satisfying this. Then complex number this will lie on what?
Yes, sir. I found my x and y terms.
Z is a complex number satisfying uh, mod z square plus 2 z plus z conjugate plus 3i z minus z conjugate plus 4 is equal to 0. Then complex number z plus 3 plus 2i. Then z plus 3 plus 2i will lie on where? So, okay. Z minus z conjugate will be 2i times the imaginary part of z. So if z is x plus iy,
So we can find the value of x plus we can find the value of z from this equation.
if z is x plus iy, what will you get here? X square plus y square plus
Plus
2 into 2x
2x plus 3i times minus 2iy.
3i into 2iy, no? Right?
Yeah, plus 4. Yes, so say I found
Plus 4x minus 6y. Right? What is this, dude? Why are you asking me this? This is z lies on a circle.
yes.
Center is minus 2 comma 3.
Yes.
Radius is 4 plus
9 minus 2.
9 minus 4. Radius is 3. So plot it. Minus 2 comma 3. So minus 2 comma 3 is the center. Radius is 3. So it will touch the x-axis like this. And it will cross over in this side. Something like this.
Yeah.
Z plus 3 plus 2i. Any point here is z. Any point here. So z plus 3 plus 2i will be,
Won't the whole circle just shift like three units this side and 2 units up?
basically you are shifting it to a new place where minus 3 minus 2, right?
Minus 2.
So minus 3 in the x-axis.
No, it'll go 3 on the right, right? The z is becoming 3 more in the x direction and 2 more up.
Every point is shifting and becoming 3 in the x direction and 2 in the this direction, right?
Yeah.
The circle will become,
1,5.
center will become 1,5, right?
Yeah.
Radius will remain unchanged. Radius is 3.
Yeah.
So what is the problem here? 1 plus 5i and radius 3. I don't understand, Sparsh. Why are you asking me this? हाँ? कुछ बोल ही नहीं रहे हो फिर?
Sir, I did same stuff only, but I didn't get answer.
Why not? I am shifting the circle because of this addition. 3 units that side, 2 units higher. Where is the center now?
1,5.
1,5, no?
Yes, sir.
तो हो तो रहा है, आंसर मैच कर रहा है.
Yes.
Okay, this is too easy stuff. I will not answer such questions in the future. Okay, next.
So I have a question, but it's an integration.
Show me or send it
I'll
to
add-
me. WhatsApp.
Yeah.
You're sending, no? Okay.
Yeah, I sent it.
Which one?
27th one. Like the paragraph. So just the first one.
Okay. Consider the polynomial fx is equal to 1 plus 2x plus 3x square plus 4x cube. Let S be the sum of all distinct real roots of fx. Sum of all distinct real roots of fx, and let t be equal to mod of s. The real number s lies in what interval? First question is, s lies in what interval? Options are -1/4 to 0, -11 to -3/4, -3/4 to -half, and 0 to 1/4. Okay, and area bounded by the curve and line. Okay, whatever. After that, it's boring stuff. 29 is easy, no?
Yeah, after you get T and all, I feel like it'll be easy, but I'm not able to find only that.
Polynomial is given, and S is the sum of all distinct real roots of fx.
Isn't S like -3/4? Just use that thing, right? Minus b by a thing.
What?
Like sum of all roots. Isn't it minus b by a?
What are you talking about, dude? That is sum of all roots. This is all distinct real roots.
So when you do that formula, real roots doesn't count.
Obviously, real roots counts, but imaginary roots also count, no?
Oh.
What are you
Oh.
saying, dude?
Now I get it. Okay, fine. Yeah. My bad.
I mean, not my bad, my blunder.
Yeah. That's okay.
Suddenly, you cannot ask me things like, oh, sum of all roots, why is it not working? This is sum of all distinct real roots. So that is different. So S lies in what interval? Okay. So first of all, this looks like a nice pattern.
Yeah,
So
we integrated.
sum of all distinct real roots of fx is equal to 0. Okay. So between any two roots of some function, between any two roots of a quadratic, there will be one root of the if this was some g dash x, right? Let's call fx as some g dash x, then between
Wherever
any
g
two
of
roots
x is
of
0.
between any two roots of this, right, you will get one root of g of x, right?
Yeah.
Are we saying the right thing here? We are trying to apply which theorem?
Rolle's theorem, right?
Rolle's theorem, yeah. So between any two roots of f of x, there will be one point where f dash x is 0, right?
Yeah.
So okay. So to find roots of this, I need a function which is the integration of
Differentiation.
this, right?
Yeah.
Integration of this would be, let's call it g of x is equal to x plus x square plus x cube plus x power 4, right?
Yeah.
It could be plus constant also, but I don't care about constant right now. So I will not care about that because I don't want to make it difficult for me to find roots of this, right? This is a function between any two roots of which, if there are alpha, beta, gamma, delta are 4 roots, right? Then between g of alpha and g of beta, there is one root of g dash x, right? Correct?
Yeah.
So
Wait, wherever it doesn't have to be roots of g of x, right? It can be wherever they're equal.
wherever it is 0, no?
No, sir.
Rolle's theorem, you have to make it 0.
If g of a is equal to g of b, then some c in a and b, where g dash c will be 0, right?
G of a is equal,
It doesn't have to be 0.
it doesn't have to be 0, but it has to be equal. Between any two equal
Yes.
points, there will be one point where g dash x is 0, right?
Yeah.
So, but one of the obvious points is 0.
0.
X is equal to 0.
-1.
Okay, so this -1, what are you saying? -1, it's becoming 0.
Yeah.
Okay, there are two odd ones and two even ones. Yeah, -1. X is equal to -1. And let's factorize it out. It becomes x cube plus x square plus x plus 1.
Yeah.
And here you can take x plus 1 as a factor. So x square into x plus 1 plus x square. So plus x plus 1, right? Now it has become irreducible. X plus 1, x square plus 1, right? This is the g of x, right? So g of x has actually got 4 roots: 0, -1, I, and -I, right?
Yeah.
Now you can only get one root between 0 and -1, right? One root of g dash x. So function fx has at least one root between 0 and
0 and
-1, right? So, okay, one root between 0 and -1. Also, okay, so this is a cubic, right? And I think it will be an increasing cubic. F dash x is what? See, 12x square plus 6x plus 2, right? B square minus 4ac is less than 0 for this, no?
Yeah.
Correct. So this quadratic is always positive, so f dash x is always greater than 0. So this cubic has only one real root, right? Correct. Cubic has only one real root, and
crosses only once.
that lies between 0 and -1, right? Because 0, the value of this fx is 0, 1, and at -1 value is -2 plus 3 minus 4 plus 1. So it is clearly negative, right?
-2, yeah.
So there is one root and that's it, right? Sum of all distinct real roots of fx. So there is only one root. Let t is equal to mod s. We have to find somehow s.
Why have they asked an interval of s if we know that s is 1? S.
Sum of all distinct real roots. T is equal to mod s. S is the sum of all distinct real roots. So only one real root. So that lies between 0 and -1. Can we guess at the value of it? No. So at which ones are lying between 0 and -1?
All of them, I think. No, wait, not the second one.
No, this is wrong.
And the last one is also wrong.
This is wrong. These two are options, right? These two are options. So now 0 and -1. Okay. So
actually, I just
check the value at -1/2 and all, right?
You can tell that
check
since
the value at -1/2, no?
What do you get from that?
You will get whether it is belonging between -1 and -1/2 or 0 and -1/2, no? The root. You understand?
If you put -1/2.
You put -1/2. This cancels out. 3/4 plus 4 by -8, 1/8. So -1/2, right? So it is positive, right? It is positive here. At 0 is also positive, and they are in negative. So root is between this and this. -1 and -1/2. So now this is cancelled. This is the correct answer.
Okay.
Right? S lies between this, no?
Yeah.
You can also confirm by putting the value of -3/4, right?
Yeah.
-3/4 should come out to be positive. You can check it. I hope it will come out to be positive. It should. So answer will be this, whatever this option is.
Okay.
But the question is slightly weird because there is only one real root.
Yeah.
Right. T is equal to mod s. How will you find value of t? It's unlikely that you can find the value of the root. Unless
so t is an interval or t is a number? Because then in the next two questions they've used t as like a number only.
Why are you asking me such questions? This is obvious that t is a number, no? How can t be an interval? It's a mod of, what is mod of some interval?
But we know s is s is interval, right?
How is s an interval?
S
is defined as the sum of all distinct real roots.
Yeah, we know that the root is in between 0 and -1. We don't know the root, right?
We don't know the root, but that is but it is still going to be one fixed value or some interval.
No, but what we know is an interval where it is lying. We haven't found out what s is.
That is.
So we don't know what t is also.
But it still would be one number.
Yeah.
Which is what t is mod of s.
So you have to find it basically.
You cannot find it directly, and unless you can guess it. If you know ways to solve a cubic, you can find it, but right now you cannot find it. First question we have answered without finding the root. If you can guess the root, good for you, but otherwise you cannot find it, no? It's not necessary that you are able to find it.
Yeah.
So we know right now, all that we know is that root lies between -3/4 and -1/2.
Yeah.
So area bounded by the curve, if you want to find. So what is the T is the mod of S.
Oh wait, it's
So,
obvious. I got it. Everything is in an interval, so it's you can take it minimum first -3/4, and then you can take it as -1/2, right?
yeah, mod of T, T is mod S, so it can be either 3/4 or it can be half.
Half. Yeah. Okay, fine.
Yeah, but necessarily you don't know how to solve this. Like, yeah. Okay, next, Sparsh, what is the doubt?
The question 17.
Question 17. Total number of different complex numbers satisfying this equation is K. Total number of different complex numbers satisfying this equation square is equal to mod of z to the power square satisfying this is K. Find K. Okay.
Won't K be like 12 because it's like 12 degree?
I mean, right now we're not even close to saying that. But let's see. This is okay. So this is z power 12 plus mod z square by z whole square, mod z square, z6 plus z4. So z square plus mod z to the power 4 by z square. So this becomes z power 14 plus mod z power 4 is equal to mod z square into z power 8 plus mod z square into z power 6. So I'm getting an equation z power 14 minus mod z square z power 8 minus mod z square z power 6 plus power 4 is equal to 0. This is the equation that we are getting, and it is obviously factorizable. Very simple factorization. Z power 8 common. Right? You get roots here. You get 8 roots here, 8 roots here, and you get 6 roots here. Total 14 roots. You have to cancel out some common roots if there are any common roots, right? You have to get different complex numbers. So there are 6 roots of, okay, so now it is obvious.
You can do the roots of thing.
Roots of thing. So Sparsh, तुमको समझ में आ रहा है what we are doing so far?
Yes, sir.
Why did I write this like this? To avoid having conjugates, right? And I want to create a full polynomial equation. I am not bothered by mod z square because that is a real number, right? I am creating a polynomial equation in z, right? This is my polynomial equation in z. And then I have simply factorized it, it's obvious factorization. So I get this. So on the next page, when I do it, it is z power 8 is equal to mod z to the power square tha 6 tha square. Yeah. And one was z square, z6 is equal to this. So if I want to find z here, I have to do z to the power 1 by 4 and 8th roots of 1, right? So e power I
2k pi.
by 8, where k goes from 0 to 7, right?
Yeah.
And this is z is equal to z to the power 1 by 3 and 6th root. So e power I 2k pi by 6. And k goes from 0 to 5, right? These are the roots that I am getting. Now you have to find different complex roots, right? So there will be a point where there could be a point where
The mod is different, no? How is it possible that the z comes out to be the same?
wait, this one, okay, this is very obvious because take mod on both sides, you will get basically that mod z is equal to 1, no? Something like that you will get. Basically, z8 is equal to z6, right?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
No, it is either this or this, right? It is either this or this, right? So
I mean,
you should get,
And we have to remove the and ones.
why is it only or?
Because if both are happening, it will be common roots, no?
if it is both are happening, then z8 is equal to z6, right? So you have to remove the situation when z square is equal to 1, right? Correct. So z can be plus or minus 1 or 0, right? These are the three cases, right?
How can it be -1? Oh, okay. Wait, it can't be 0.
These are the three cases that you can remove.
It can't be 0, sir.
Why?
0, like if you square 0, you get 0.
I don't know what is happening, why you are saying such things.
Z square is equal to 1, then Z can be 0 also.
Here z cannot be 0.
Oh, it can be. Sorry.
Oh my god, dude, what are you saying?
Sorry.
Oh. Okay. Okay, wait. Here, how do you find which roots are there? What is the mod of z we can find? No, here. Z power 8 is equal to this. Take mod on this side. No? Take mod on both sides. Mod z8 is equal to mod z square, right? Mod z is equal to 1 is coming, no, immediately. Right? This equation itself implies mod z is 1. So this doesn't bother us. Are you understanding? Take mods.
Yes,
Correct? Either it is a 0 complex number, 0 is a root, so that root you can exclude, and the other roots are mod z is equal to 1, so this doesn't bother us. So these are the roots. So but they will not match, so only complex number that is common here is 0. I think total 14 roots were there and 0 you have to remove. I don't think anything else will match here. Will they match? E power I
Yeah, 12. Okay, 12.
2 0. So this is going to match. Yeah, this is going to match 1. So 2 pi by 8, 3 pi, 4 pi by 8, and so on, right?
Like the case will be different, right, for both of them?
Why am I getting only by 8 and all? Z square 1 to the power 1 8th root of 1 is what? 8th root of 1 is it
Sir.
8th? Huh?
8 and 6 ka, the is 8 and 6 ka stuff is 18, no? And 18 comes only when you multiply 8 by 2 and 6 by 3. And at those 2 points, there are different values. So only the 0 term is the same. Only one root is.
The 0 root is the common root, no?
उसके सिवा कुछ नहीं है.
उसके सिवा कुछ नहीं है, ये convinced हो ना?
Yes, sir.
Why?
So between 8 and 6, the common factor is 24.
48.
24.
It is, yeah. So and 24 comes when you multiply 8 by 3. So matlab, my first Z, which is on the LHS, that's some 6 pi stuff. 6 pi by RHS at the same time, it'll be some.
The highest will be 14 pi by 8 here, right?
Yeah, it doesn't reach 24.
It won't reach out.
Fine. So instead of the 14 possible roots, remove 0, which is common to both, and 13 complex roots. So k will become 13, and k minus 10 is equal to 3. But majorly the question was over when we got it as a factorization. This is the main part of the question. You have to get this. And also notice that this modulus will be 1 because you can take mod of both sides, and mod z8 is equal to mod z square. This is only true when mod z is 1. Okay, next one. Molly, are you sending something?
Yeah, I'll just. 37th one, okay.
37th one. Okay. Fx is equal to limit of n tends to infinity n power n to the power x by n for all x is greater than 0. You have to basically find f(x) for all x is greater than 0. Basically find f of x. After that you will be able to do the question. So
I think it's that this f like f argument r by n, right? And then n tends to infinity, you convert it into integration, something like
first
that.
limit n tends to infinity. So okay. So n power n, and this is there, n factorial. So you will get a n power n. I will take it down. Okay. Now each factor I can divide by 1n, right? Or actually I don't need to take it down. I can take n power n outside, right? Outside this is x power n. So n power n
will
and
come.
n power x will come, no?
Yeah.
N power x will come here. So okay. So that doesn't help a lot. So I'll go with the original idea only. So okay, first of all, put it equal to L, take log. Log of L is equal to x by n log of this thing, limit n tends to infinity. Log of this thing. So
You can separate it. You can make it minus and all.
limit n tends to infinity, x by n, you can separate it out, log of x plus n plus log of x plus n by 2 plus so on. Okay, there is an n power n also. So plus log of x plus n by n, and there is an n power n. So
in log
n log n minus log n factorial. Log n factorial minus log x square plus n square minus so on log x square plus n square by n square. Okay. Okay. So now what will you do? You have to do that somehow. You have to get it in that form.
r by n.
R by n type, right? So main thing is to somehow get in that R by n form and do an integration. Okay. So how will you get it is the idea. Think a little bit. Let me also think for a moment. Okay, fine. I'll do it on the next page. Wait. fx is equal to limit n tends to infinity, n power n, and I will take n outside each of the top factors. Okay, so n power n will come out and it will become 1 plus x by n, 1 plus 2x by n, correct? 2x by n or n I take out, x plus 1 by 2 comes, no? One second. From the top expression, if you take
X
n,
plus
it will come x plus 1, x by n plus 1, and the next one will be x by n plus half, right? Like this, no? X by n plus 1 by n, right? Correct? Makes sense?
yes, sir.
Okay.
So then you can take the same term.
Then we can
So
take
n
n
square bar.
factorial and I will get, I need n square bahar, right? So n square I need to take common on each one. So n power 2n, right?
Yes.
N power 2n, and it will become x square by n square plus 1 and x square by n square plus 1 by 4 and so on. X square by n square plus 1 by n square, right? Correct. This is the thing, and power is x by n. Okay, so let's if on the top part, okay, x by n plus 1 x by n plus half. So
Like for the factorial, you can also do like that, right? Like 1 by n will come, then 2 by n till n by n. So like r by n will come, same thing.
this to cancels, no?
So what to do with the n factorial?
N factorial, you have to, n factorial can can be split as n minus 1 and all. So what will you do
So,
about the factorial? N
sir,
factor, huh?
from n factorial, if we break into n minus 1 terms and ऐसे करके, and उसमें से if you take n बाहर, then it may help. So like there'll be terms like 1 minus 1 by n, 1 minus 2 by n terms.
Those will come, but still that the problem is that the top part is weird, like how half and 1 by 4 and all is there. That is the problem too. I'm not bothered about the n factorial and all. I can take n power n common from that anytime. That is
So
not,
why is it 1 by 4 and all?
I mean, that is what is coming, no? That is there in the question only. That is the problem.
The question is, it's like x by n plus 1, x by n plus half, then x by n plus 1 by 3, no?
Question says x by n.
No, you have written x by n.
X by n plus 1 by 3, yeah.
No, like how do you know that after half 1 by 4 will come?
1 by 4 will not come, 1 by 3 will come.
Oh, down you're saying. Down that you're saying. Achha, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. It's not working out right now. This. I mean, 4x square. You can do. Okay, wait. Let me try it still. X plus n by n, x plus 2n, 2x plus n by 2n, and 3x plus n by 3n, and so on. You get nx plus n
By n square.
by n square on top. And here you start getting n factorial into n square plus x square by n square, n square plus 4x square by 4n square, and so on. N square plus n square x square by n square into n square. Now x by n, okay, so okay, at least the rx by n type of thing is happening, right?
Yeah.
So okay, that's good news. Now you have to remove the 1 into 2 into 3 into 4, right? Into n, right? There is remove out all the factors. This is basically 1 by n factorial, right? And then these go away.
Yeah. And yeah.
Right? And here is 1 into 4 into
It's n factorial squared, right?
2 square, 3 square, and so on, right? Here there is a n factorial square, right? So this everything cancels, right? And this becomes also, what has been removed now? All the coefficients have been removed. This is fine. This is fine. All the coefficients have been removed, right? And n factorial square gets cancelled, right? And the whole thing is to the power x by n, right? Now it looks a little doable because it is 1 plus x by n, 1 plus 2x by n, right? 1 plus x by n, 1 plus 2x by n, 1 plus 3x by n, right? 1 plus nx by n, and the denominator is 1 plus x square by n square, 1 plus 4x square by n square, 1 plus 9x square by n square, and so on. 1 plus n square x square
by n square.
So this to the power x by n, limit n tends to infinity, right? So basically, if you write it in a concise manner, you'll write it like limit n tends to infinity. There is a product where r goes from 1 to n. On top is 1 plus r x by n divided by 1 plus r square x square by n square. Right? And this is the product, and the whole thing is divided, or whole thing is to the power x by n. Right?
Yeah.
Now this is doable because now you can take it as fx. So you can take log of fx. Log fx will be equal to x and limit n tends to infinity, and this, when you take log, this becomes summation, right? Summation r is 1 to n, and 1 by n log of 1 plus rx by n by 1 plus r square x square by n square, right? Correct?
Yeah.
Right? Now, the product has become a sum because you took a log, right? And x term was outside and 1 by n I took inside, because 1 by n f of r by n, that type of function I need, no, for integration. Correct?
Yeah.
So now you're getting log of fx is equal to this thing I can replace as
Integral.
0 to 1. R by n goes from 0 to 1, right?
Yeah.
Ln of 1,
One
r by n is my x, right? R by
to
n,
take it as some other variable or just x?
other variable. Actually, you should take it as y. And x is still there, right? By 1 plus y square x square, right?
Yeah.
And it is with respect to dy that you are integrating, right?
Yeah.
R by n is your variable y, and integration is for y over 0 to 1, right?
Hmm.
X was stuck along with it. We cannot do anything about it, right?
Yeah.
Why
So
won't
now,
it equals x? Why is there
what?
a
What?
So like in general, you just put that thing equals to small x, no? Like
Small x is just a variable that we have taken. That's, I can put it as small t also.
no, like why is there a y to why
Because
won't
there is an x here. So can you use x as that variable? That will change the whole thing. The real variable for integration is r by n. It has no connection with the x that was already there in the question. Is r by n related to x?
Fine, so got it. No, it's not related.
X was already there, so you cannot use the same variable again. So you have to use y for it, or whatever you want to use, right? So now this integration you have to do, this is equal to log of fx. So this integration, how will I do? I can do a substitution, xy is equal to t. If I do the substitution, I will get x dy is equal to dt, because x is not something that I'm touching right now, right?
Yeah.
X is not a variable. According to me,
It's a constant in this one.
for the purpose of the integration, x is a constant. So x dy is equal to dt. Therefore, you get dy is equal to dt by x. So now you get x times dt by x, dy I'll replace, so x
Yeah,
by
that likes
0 to 1, 0 to, no, when y is going from 0 to 1, t goes from 0 to x. 0 to x ln 1 plus t by 1 plus t square, and this becomes dt. This is the thing. So this cancels off. So it is going to be equal to integral 0 to x ln 1 plus t by 1 plus t square dt is going to be my log of fx, right? Correct?
yeah.
Now, okay. So I have log fx is equal to integral 0 to x ln 1 plus t by 1 plus t square
You can split it and integrate it.
dt. I actually don't want to do that also, because immediately I can apply Newton-Leibniz.
1 by fx and f dash x.
is equal to ln 1 plus x by 1 plus x square, right? Correct?
Yeah.
So therefore you have f dash x by fx is equal to ln 1 plus x by 1 plus x square. So now you can start checking options. You can say f dash x is equal to fx into ln 1 plus x by 1 plus x square, and log will give a positive answer here.
Yeah, the options as f dash x by fx also, so you can just put it like that.
Fx is greater than 0 is obvious. Area under the curve, this ln 1 plus t by 1 plus t square.
So what's the question?
No, won't it always be negative?
So what's asked in the question? What's the question? Find fx.
No, now there are some options. So you have to check some options. I don't know what options are there, but you have to decide whether fx is an increasing function or decreasing function. So we have to decide the sign of f dash x. So 1 plus t by 1 plus t square.
So 1 plus t square will be greater, right, than 1 plus t, since t is positive.
If t is positive.
No, we don't know that. If t is between 0 and 1.
Yeah. If t is between 0 and 1, 1 plus t is greater than 1 plus t square. If t is between 0 and 1, 0 and 1, in that case my ln this is greater than 1 and positive. It is definitely positive, so area is positive. In that case, f dash x is increasing. So now it depends on the question options and all. So for 2 value, you can put f dash 2 by f of 2. F dash 2 by f of 2 will be equal to ln 3 by 5. Right? Which is less than 0. ln 3 by 5 is less than 0. So f dash 2 is then less than equal to 0. Right? Negative, it will come. You can basically start checking options now. Right? T was what? T was x. Xy was equal to t. So anyway, now t is gone. So now we are left with this is the final equation. You can integrate it and find out also exactly what it is. And if you don't want to integrate, you can get this, and this relation is true. But the major idea of the question was being able to simplify that thing, right? Simplifying that thing and setting it up as a limit of a sum, definite integral as a limit of a sum. So there we first took n power n common outside, and after that again we made it into something like this, n plus x by n and so on, multiplied by n plus 2x by n and so on. Everyone remembers what we did, no? The steps by which we came there.
Yeah.
And then in the denominator and all, the 2 and all kept coming out, 1 2 3 4, and those things you took out as an n factorial, right?
Yeah.
So those steps are the important steps. After that, this is just like work. So this is a JEE Advanced 2016 question. That advanced paper was quite tough. So this is quite long, the question here.
Mm.
The multiple correct question. It is long and painful. Okay, Sparsh, what is the next doubt?
18th question.
18th question. Okay. A, Z1, B, Z2, C, Z3 are vertices of a triangle ABC inscribed in a circle. Triangle ABC inscribed in a circle. Mod Z is equal to 2. Okay. The internal bisector of angle A. Internal bisector of angle A meets the circumcircle again at point at DZ4. Find D in terms of A, B, C. Z1, Z2, Z3. Second part is find the value of argument of Z4 by Z2 minus Z3. Okay, so there is a circle. There is a triangle inscribed in this. This is the center O. This is A, B, C, Z1, Z2, Z3. Internal bisector of angle A. Meets the circle at D, Z4. Okay, this is the circumcenter. So this distance is R, no? And this distance is also R.
Yes.
Correct. So this angle is A by 2. This angle is also A by 2. So you have to find point D in terms of everything else. So okay. This angle is A by 2. Everyone understands, no? This angle is A by 2 because same arc.
Yeah.
Right? Similarly, this angle is also A by 2.
Wait, sir.
Hmm?
So won't angle ABC be equal to angle ADC?
ABC will be equal to ADC. That will also be equal, yes.
And that won't be useful.
Maybe it is. Right now we are just seeing what is happening. I am getting this is A by 2, this is A by 2, right? Correct. So the whole angle, this is 180 minus A, which is what was expected because cyclic quadrilateral, right? So what I want is a relation or D. Okay. A by 2, A by 2. I had a thought earlier. 1 second. Internal bisector of angle A meets this. I know this point.
So we can write AB in terms of AC, like that, just putting angle A के साथ respect में.
AB what? AB distance.
हाँ मतलब जो होता है ना, like Z2 minus like हाँ, not the distance, the हाँ actually the distance only. Sorry.
We have to find look coordinate of D finally, right? Coordinates of D we have to find. So we
can
need
write
some
CD in terms of DC. We can write CD in terms of DB.
CD
And
in terms of DB. Why? How?
so we can write Z1 minus Z4
Uh-huh.
का divided by उसका own distance equals to Z3 minus Z4 into e power I times of 1 into minus A.
You are doing rotation formula using.
Yeah, basically.
We can do that. I mean, we can get many equations like that. We can write this also, no? We can write this angle, right? Rotation. Correct? OA has become OD, right?
OA has become OD. Yeah, it has.
Right. If we know this angle, then we'll be able to get that, no? So A by 2, A by 2. Or we can just use this A by 2, this B plus A by 2, right? And this angle was how much? This much was equal to C, no? Right?
1 second, yeah, it's C on.
Basically,
Like half of
basically in this triangle, right? A, B, D. You have this angle is C, this angle is B plus A by 2, and this angle is A by 2, right? Correct.
Yes, sir.
And we have in the smaller triangle here, you have already gotten many things, right? In the smaller triangle B, D, and C, you have only said the rotation formula types, right?
Yes.
But that will be a slightly long process to get it. There will be a nicer way to do this. There is a nicer way. I have just forgotten. 1 second. Let me just think.
If you would have taken B as the 0, 0 term, then everything will be so much easier.
No. Center of the circle is circumcircle. No. B as 0, 0, it will not be easier. One second. A, B, C. Circle like this. D, Z4, Z1, Z3. By the way, Z4 is also equal to 2ei alpha. Z3, Z2, Z1 are all 2ei something something, right? Correct? They are all lying on a circle of radius 2, right?
Yes, sir.
So let's now put this as a horizontal line and stuff. I mean, but that will not help us much. But let me think. This is in center line has been extended to meet the circumcircle. There is a very nice property. There is some in center x center lemma. I have just forgotten it. 1 second. So this is half a by 2 and a by 2. Then basically this D is the midpoint of the arc BC, no? Right? D is the midpoint of the arc BC. That is clear, no?
1 second. Midpoint of arc.
Then only it will subtend half angle here and half angle here, no? Equal angles, right?
Okay.
Correct.
Not sure. Yes.
नहीं midpoint नहीं होगा तो how will the angle and the circumference be equal, right? These two.
Yes, that makes sense.
If this arc is longer, if CD arc is longer, then it will make bigger angle, no? Right?
Yes. Got it.
So so we know right now that this angle will be A, no?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yes.
So now draw from the origin, no? OB has been rotated by A angle to get OD,
Nice. Yes, sir.
right? That is obvious. So we can say that, and this is RR, right? This is 2, 2, right? So we can say that Z2 minus origin by Z4 minus origin is equal to mod Z2 by mod Z4, which is 1, e power I into angle A, right?
Yes.
Right? And angle A, we have to write it properly. What is the angle A? Angle A is basically argument of Z. Angle A, write it properly. So which is the more anti-clockwise side? More anti-clockwise side is this one, right? This one, no? So arg of Z3 minus Z1 by
Z2 minus Z1.
Z2 minus Z1, right? Correct? So we can say that Z2 by Z4. So basically Z4 is equal to Z2 e power minus IA, right? Correct? Z4 is equal to Z2 e power minus I argument of this, right? Argument of Z3 minus Z1 by Z2 minus Z1, correct?
Yes.
Now, this part you have to simplify a little to get a nice looking answer. So this is correct, but it doesn't look very great. E power I argument of Z2 minus Z1 by Z3 minus Z1, right? I have included the minus inside. That is my Z4, right?
Yeah.
So,
makes sense.
so how will we simplify it a little bit? Argument of Z2 minus Z1 by Z3 minus. What else is known in the question? Nothing much is known. No?
If we knew the pod of, I mean, the distance AB and distance AC, then it would have been very peaceful.
AB and AC. Some other conditions also I'm sure we can figure out, but argument of this. So Z2 minus Z1 by Z3 minus Z1. Okay. Second part is what? Z4 by Z2 minus Z3. Arg of Z4 by Z4 minus 0 by Z2 minus Z3. So
The second question you're asking.
second part of the same thing, right? So
yeah.
He's so asking the angle between this line and this line, right? This angle is being asked. So this is a I have forgotten some basic geometry rule. I have to okay, just hold on to this. I will do it properly and send it to you. Okay. There is a famous property I have forgotten right now, in center excenter lemma. If you search for this online, you will also be able to find it. I have forgotten all the implications of this. That's why I'm not able to tell you immediately. This is a very obvious question, but I will tell you by tomorrow or tonight. Okay, don't worry. This is an important question also. So I don't know why it is not happening. Okay, so I'll tell you by tomorrow. Notice that I have shared a sheet today. Okay, I have shared a sheet today. Have you seen it on the group?
Yeah, I just saw it's there in the group. I didn't open it.
So open it right now, download it and open it right now.
One second.
So it has some results. So basically it has some results on complex numbers and triangles and basic geometry. Okay. Once you open it, tell me that you have opened it.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
1 minute, 1 second.
So go to page number 4, question 13. Page number 4 of that PDF. Question 13. So it is saying, question 13 is saying, given ABC on the unit circle, given ABC on the unit circle, it is possible to pick complex numbers UVW. There is a unit circle and there are 3 points, A, B, C. It is possible to choose. Unit circle means mod Z equals to 1. Okay. It is saying that it is possible to pick complex numbers UVW such that such that A is equal to U square, B is equal to V square. So you can pick A such that this is U square. U, V, W are complex numbers. B is V square and C is W square. Okay. And midpoint of the arc BC not containing A is minus VW. Midpoint of arc BC not containing A is minus VW. Okay. Now notice that in our question, that was our D point, no?
Yes.
In our question, that was our D point, right? Midpoint of the arc containing this, right? So if A point is Z1 and this was Z2 and this was Z3, right? So basically what the result is saying is that midpoint of arc BC is minus VW. V is root Z2 and root Z3, right? Correct?
Yes.
Something like this, right?
That's almost the answer in the sheet.
Z2, Z3, right? So root Z2, Z3 is the answer in the sheet. Actually, there might be slight difference here because of
Radius of the circle.
radius of the circle is different. So this is a unit circle. This is a two length circle, right? So slight difference could have happened. But yeah, I will have to look at it a little bit and I will tell you how it comes. On this sheet that I've sent has a lot of these results, and if you go down a little bit, look at for example question number 15. There are some results in the bottom. So question number 15 part 4, that is page number 5. Every interpoint distance in a triangle. So A, B, C, D, E, F and H, right? These are points. D, E, F are the points where the orthocenter, you can drop a perpendicular, the foot of the perpendicular from orthocenter to the vertex, to the sides.
Wait, so from which point are you saying, sir?
Question
Where is-
15, part 4, page number 5.
अच्छा, this is A to H लिखा हुआ है.
A to H and all the distances are there, right? Notice that you already know that last column, right?
Yeah.
Last column is C, AH is 2R cos A, 2R cos B, 2R cos C, right? And DH and all also you know. So you can verify all of these results also. So there are a lot of results in this which are geometry facts and all. So you can try to prove them. These are all correct. If you go down a little bit, then there is a complex number interpretation. There is a complex number interpretation of all the points in a triangle. So if you keep going down, okay. So page number 13. Page number 13. Okay. Page number 13, question 21, called complex parametrization of triangles. So, correct. Complex parametrization of triangles. Consider the reference triangle ABC with circumcenter at the origin. If we represent A, B, and C with complex numbers U square, V square, W square such that U square, mod U square is equal to R. So mod U is equal to root R basically, right? Mod U is equal to root R. Then complex number UV is the midpoint of the arc AB containing C. Complex number UV is the midpoint of arc AB containing C. Okay. 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 And similarly, minus UV is the midpoint of the arc AB not containing C. And we can prove many of these results, and I have written down all of those results here. So these results, if you can prove, then many things are very easy for you, because see here, what is this table in the next page, right? Vertex A, if you call it U square, vertex B, if you call V square, vertex C, if you call W square, and circumcenter is 0. Then centroid will be this. Centroid is obvious. 9-point center is not obvious for you, but it is the midpoint of O and GC. O and C midpoint is what?
O and GC.
Right? So orthocenter and circumcenter's midpoint is 9-point center. See, orthocenter has come out to be U square plus V square plus W square, right?
Yeah.
And circumcenter is 0. So 9-point center is the Y2, right? Put of the altitude on BC, in center, X center, many things are given. Okay. So although this is not at the level for JEE, this is for Olympiads and all, but you can actually prove all this. So I just wanted to show you because क्या?
So what's the spiker center, Nagel point?
हाँ, वो सब नहीं पता तुमको, तो फिर ठीक है, अभी जरूरत नहीं है उसकी.
ठीक.
These are all new. These are all things and triangles. Okay. Okay. Anyway, I have to figure this one out and tell you. So I will let you know. In center, and just search for in center X center lemma. No, this question will be solved. Otherwise, I will find it and tell you. Molly, what else is there? Tell me.
Right now, I can't find anything.
Okay. Okay. So we will start. We will start doing questions on PNC and probability now. So next class onwards, we'll start with this. So do your revision. There will be a test. I have still not made it, but I will do a test soon. So prepare, keep practicing. How is your FitG and Alan going?
Good.
And Shatiki, how much has he done? What has he done in the last class?
He has started doing modern physics, Planck theorem.
Which one?
Planck stuff.
Planck. Okay. Lambda is equal to h by mv and all that one.
Yeah.
Dual nature of matter.
Yes. Then he went to doing Albert Einstein stuff.
Okay. Okay. So next class onwards, we'll do this. Okay. PNC and probability. I'll probably do an extra class. I'll have to do it. We will. Saturday, Sunday, what are the times when you are free?
I'm free from 11:30 the whole day.
In the morning.
Yeah.
11:30 onwards, you are free. Both the days?
Yeah.
And Sparsh, you have classes, no?
Yes, sir.
Which time?
So like on Saturday, I have class from 4 to 8, I think so.
4 to 8 p.m.
Yes.
And Sunday?
So 9 to 1 o'clock.
9 to 1 o'clock.
Yes.
In the morning, na?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So we'll have to have one class, I think. I will tell you. Just, yeah,
Sure.
okay, I'll remember. We'll do our class. Yeah.
So like, if you put a class, sir, so it has to be in the like from money from 2 to 5K beach mein, sir.
2 to
No,
5
no, in the next bracket.
in this day.
Yes, sir.
2 to 5 on Sunday or?
So just don't like block like on Sunday, sir, from 7 to 9, just don't block, so. उसके सिवा I'm full day. I'm okay.
7 to 9 in the evening on Sunday.
Yeah, just हाँ बस वो नहीं करना है.
That anyway I'm not free. Okay. So Saturday? What about Saturday?
So that is fully free, like, except those 4 hours.
Okay. So morning and all is fine, no? Saturday morning.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so I will let you know. We'll do a class on Saturday or Sunday. Okay. Okay. Keep doing this and start doing PNC and probability. We'll do problems on that from the next class onwards.
So we'll start with PNC first, and then we'll go to probability.
We'll start by doing hard questions in PNC. Anyway, easy questions I will not discuss because those you already know, right? And then we'll go to probability.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, it will start from a level where you'll assume that all the basic stuff you already know, right? So you're not going to bother about easy ones. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. That's it for now then.
Okay. Sir.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Hmm.